Good morning, McFatter Technical High School students and parents. This is Thursday, September 3rd. I am Jeanette Johnson, your director and principal. Happy to say hello to you again as we move towards the end of another week. We're thrilled you're here, and we, of course, wanted to bring you some of the latest updates. One of the things we wanted to focus on this week is the series of supports that we have available, both as a district here at the school, for our students that go beyond simply the academic support that their teachers provide them in the classrooms. That's obviously where it starts, but that is by no means where it stops. So we wanted to bring to you some information and some additional people today who are a huge piece of that support function. So of course, with me today, as always, we have Assistant Director over the high school, Mr. Daryl Harris. We have Magnet Coordinator, Miss Lily DeCastro. And we have our three spectacular school counselors, Miss Debbie Bluth, Miss Tamika Fussell, and Miss Juliet Olagbemi.
Hi, guys.
And you're going to hear a little more from them in a few minutes. We're thrilled to have them with us today. So we wanted to talk about support that's available to students, again, that goes beyond what the teachers provide them in the classroom. And so one of the things we wanted to be sure we reminded people of is that's so important in this particular remote environment is having the technology that works efficiently. So we have an update about the tech support that's available to students. And I know, Mr. Harris, you were going to mention that.
Hi, thank you, Mrs. Johnson. So first of all, although the district is not doing the general tech support at McFatter, we still will be providing tech support to our students. So if you're having any issues with your laptops or connection issues, please reach out directly. You can call our front desk. That's 754-321-5700, and they will connect you to our technology department who can assist you. Now, if you also have an opportunity, you can email our supervisor in that department. His name is Louis Ryan. That's LOUIS.RYAN@browardschools.com. So just remember, we are here to provide any tech support that you may need to make sure that you can connect and stay connected to our virtual learning environment. So that's one thing that we want to make sure you are able to do.
Perfect. And you mentioned the phone call, but I know the phone's not manned 24/7. What are the hours where they're available by phone?
So there's someone at that desk from 7:30 a.m. until 3 p.m. daily. So you can reach the front desk 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. Someone will be there to take your call.
Perfect. And then the emailing Mr. Ryan can be at any time.
Anytime. Yes, that's correct.
Not just one email 24/7, but that's available.
He will respond within 24 hours. Definitely respond to you.
Perfect. Thank you. So we have the tech support to make sure students have functioning technology. New this week, the district has rolled out an additional academic support feature for all students in all grade levels and at all schools. And again, Mr. Harris, I know you're going to talk about that.
And yes, Ms. Johnson, that's called BRIA. That's just short stands for Broward Remote Instructional Assistance. And that is something that the district has rolled out to provide any academic support for our students. Now, that support will be loaded and is accessible to all of our students via Canvas, and that is Monday through Thursday from 3 until 8 p.m. So students can reach out, they have questions, they have any challenges of any course that they may have. We have certified instructors that are there to assist our students to provide any academic support that they may need. So please use that resource. I know it's in the evening after your regular day, but if you need any help, we're here to support you in any way possible. You have your teacher, normally that's always available. You can email them, but BRIA is available to our students, hotline, questions, anything you may need. That's BRIA, Broward Remote Instructional Assistance.
And I know the special thing about that is, although they find it from Canvas, my understanding is it opens up a Teams meeting with them, so they have live assistance from a teacher, correct?
That is correct, Ms. Johnson.
Now, it's not our teachers that are manning this, though, correct?
The district has gathered professionals in all the different areas, subject areas, and they will be there to support the students. So once they log into Canvas, they will have a link to log on to a Microsoft Teams link where they can actually face-to-face see, virtually face-to-face see instructors who can assist them in any subject area they may have.
Perfect, thank you. So tech support for our students, academic support for our students. Yeah. Another piece of it, of course, is social emotional well-being. That is important anytime, but it's especially important now. It's a stressful time for everyone. Students are not experiencing school face-to-face alongside all of their friends and peers. So there are also quite a few resources that have been provided. The school district provides them. Our teachers and our school social worker are providing them. And we're adding a new feature just this week, and specifically for our high school students. That's our McFatter Technical High School homeroom. And I know Mr. Castro has information on that. You are on mute, Mr. Castro.
And I was the first. So I'm excited about that. On social media, on our McFatter Tech Instagram page are all the details if you missed something here. But generally, all you have to do is be a current McFatter student and interested in engaging with your peers before school. The hours are from 8:10 to 8:30, and you just reach out to Mr. Armand and by email, and he will send you the Teams link. To spell his first name, it's JOHNATHAN.AMMANN@browardschools.com. So send him an email if you'd like to go to homeroom before school tomorrow or any other day. Must be a current student, and it's an exciting opportunity to get together with your friends. I'm wondering if he'll let me go to homeroom tomorrow.
So we know it's optional. This is not meant to provide one more requirement for students. It's optional. If I'm a student and I go tomorrow, am I obligated to go in the future?
Just go when you want to go. You know, if you don't have free time, maybe you just want to do it on Fridays. Maybe you just want to go once. Totally optional. And it's just a chance to have some fun before school.
Perfect.
So.
And again, the place I find this is by contacting Mr. Aman, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect.
All right.
So in addition to all of those resources, of course, we have on our staff a team of people whose sole purpose is to provide support to our students and their families, whatever they may need. And that is, of course, our outstanding school counselors who are here with us today. So I wanted to have an opportunity to introduce you to them, for those of you who haven't met them yet, for them to introduce themselves. And I know they each have some specific grade level tips and reminders to many of their students. So we're going to start with Miss Debbie Bluth. Welcome, Debbie. We're glad you're here this week.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be working with seniors this year. We're finally here, the class of 2021. Hopefully your students or your children are off to a great start. And I'm just so happy and excited to be their senior counselor and to have worked with them for a few years. I've met a lot of you. Our goals as guidance counselors is basically, one, to make sure your students and your children graduate. So that's the main thing right now, I would say, Ms. Johnson, is that students need to be checking virtual counselor and making sure they're on target to graduate. Now, we check that every year. So hopefully I've spoken with a student or your child or you about, you know, whether or not you're on target. And most of our students all graduate. I would say we have 99% to 100% success rate. But still, we do have to look at virtual counselor and be prepared and be aware of what it is this year that you must pass. Another thing I would say that's very important, all guidance counselors do, and it's especially important the senior year, is for parents and students to be thinking about their plans for after high school. I've received lots of emails already, and students are applying to four-year universities right now. Ms. Lynn always talks about a September 15th deadline date for university applications to be in. You should have been thinking about them over the summer, but if you didn't, please be thinking about your essays, your applications right now, if it's a four-year university. And especially if it's a four-year university that's private, out of state, you may have a different deadline than a Florida university. So that's very important that you be looking at your post-secondary plans. And you also, if you want to stay local, you could be looking at Broward College, Santa Fe, Valencia, Miami-Dade, and that you don't have to rush right now for. You'll have an opportunity with Miss Lynn later to sign up for that state college. And believe it or not, some of my top students, my number 2, my number 6 every year, they want to stay local. A lot of parents want their students to stay local. So there's nothing wrong with that. Even if you're one of the top students in the class, you could go there and do excellent there and go free with some of our Bright Future scholarships.
So the September 15th deadline is for public state universities here in Florida?
I would say no. I would say for all four-year universities, Ms. Lynn concentrates on a September 15th deadline date. Now, U of F may have a deadline date of November 1st, but you don't want to wait till that late. You want to be working on that now. And also some of the common applications that the students are using to apply to, say, Emory or Duke or University of Miami, they may have a deadline date of their own, but they should be working on that now.
Perfect. And I know this is a lot. It's senior year is an exciting time, but it's also stressful. You've talked about so many different things that they need to be aware of. But we don't want them overwhelmed. I know you have set up a mechanism by which students can be in contact with you so that they don't have to remember all these things. What is that mechanism?
Exactly. Well, one thing I want to say is Ms. Lynn is always sending out emails through Naviance. So the seniors, I get them too when she sends them out. So your senior student should always be getting emails through Ms. Lynn and Naviance. And if they're not getting them, please go on Naviance through Clever and check that the email that you've written there, maybe you wrote your email in 9th grade, check that the email is correct. But what I do also, and I've been sending out Remind text, if you can see this, I have a Remind app, and I have a Remind app for seniors as well as the beginning of the alphabet for 10th graders, because I also help 10th graders, and I'm happy to email and meet with my 10th grade parents just as much. So I have a Remind for seniors. I still have about 20 or 30 seniors that are not on my Remind that I'm looking for. And if you're the beginning of the alphabet and you're a 10th grader, I also have the Remind app for you as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Next, we have Miss Tamika Fussell. Miss Tamika Fussell, welcome. We're glad you're here. And please introduce yourself and let us know what tips you have for your students today.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me on today. I'm so excited. Woohoo! Class of 2022. I am so excited to be your counselor. We are juniors now, so it's a lot of things that we need to start prepping for. And one of those things is the SAT. And actually, we have a date set for the Broward State approved date, and that is March 3rd. So one of the resources you can start using now to start preparing for the SAT is Khan Academy. And you could actually go into your Naviance account and link it to your Khan Academy. That would be an easy way to do it. And also College Board is another resource you can utilize to start prepping for the SAT. So I want all of us to get started. Don't wait till the last minute. We want to be prepared, so we can have those great scores when it comes to college, when it's time for us to start applying for college.
And Khan Academy and the College Board resources are free, correct?
That is true. They are both free.
Okay. And then what about the PSAT? I think that's not as far along in terms of definite dates, but what can you tell us about PSAT?
Well, definitely PSAT will be coming up soon. There's in the making. We don't have the actual date or location as of yet, but it definitely will be happening soon. So once we get the information, we're going to give it out. And that's also a good resource too, to let you know how you would do actually on the SAT, kind of give you like an idea on what you can, on how you will do on the SAT, and also what you would need to prepare for, as it relates to the SAT, whether you need to work a little more in math or in language, whatever it may be. So it's a good resource as well that will be happening real soon.
So the PSAT is for 10th and 11th graders, correct?
That is correct.
And so we'll have that information probably within the next couple of weeks. I was talking to our testing coordinator and he thinks he'll have more information in the next couple of weeks. Super. Thank you so much, Ms. Fussell. Yeah. And last but definitely not least, we have Ms. Juliet Ann Oligbemi. Hi, Ms. Oligbemi. Welcome today.
Hi, Ms. Johnson. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Juliet Ann Oligbemi, and I'm the guidance counselor for 9th graders and 10th graders, the alphabet with the last name L through Z. I am super excited, and I'm going to start by first off congratulating all my 9th graders for their transition from middle school to high school. Congratulations and welcome to McFatter.
And I know you wanted to give some e-learning tips for them so that they can get off to a successful start.
Yes, I do, Ms. Johnson. The best thing is starting out to be proactive and have a plan to be successful. Make it a habit to do academic work daily. Make sure you have a workspace that's free from distractions. Another thing that is good practice is to make sure you check your emails daily. I would say at least twice a day. And make sure to know all your teachers' emails and to respond promptly to their emails when your teachers email you. It's also good to have their emails in case you have any questions for them or you need anything clarified. Your teachers are always happy and to receive emails from you to answer your questions. Another thing that I wanted to say, and I use acronyms a lot. It's good to set up a plan to have goals. And my acronym for good goals is SMART. And that's S, you have to be sure that you set specific goals. M, make sure your goals are measurable. A, make sure your goals are attainable. And R, make sure they are realistic. And T is for timely. And I don't want anybody being scared about e-learning. You can do this. You made it to high school. So I have no doubt that you can do this. We just need to be focused and have a plan and set good goals.
Awesome. And I know that transitioning to high school is always a big change. Mm-hmm. When people move from middle school to high school, what is it you think they need to keep in mind about the biggest difference between being in middle school versus being in high school?
Thank you, Ms. Johnson, for asking that question. One of the biggest differences is that from 9th grade, really everything counts towards your GPA. We have unweighted GPA, unweighted GPA, and we'll talk about that at a later time. But it's important to make sure you're focused and that you're working towards getting good grades, because the other thing too with high school is it goes all your classes, even they go towards your transcripts. They appear on your final transcript. So it's important to keep that in mind. And also being that way, block school in a couple of weeks, interims will be going home. And at that point, even now, you can start making sure that you get good grades. And at the point that he goes home, hopefully everybody's interims will have good grades. If not, don't panic. It will just be a way to make sure to correct some things and maybe change some habits that you may have. But once again, I want to say, I know you can do this.
That's great. And I really appreciate you mentioning interims. I've seen a lot of 9th graders get kind of taken aback by how quickly things move, especially in a block schedule school. So it's really important for that to be on their radar. And then for 10th graders, each of our 3 counselors supports a certain segment of 10th graders. Ms. DeCastro, I know you have kind of the overall tips for the 10th graders that we wanted to give them at this point in time in terms of what they should be focusing on. What can you tell us for those students and their parents?
Basically, everything Ms. Olubemi said and Ms. Fussell said is pertinent to our 10th grade class. But specific to 10th grade is that this is a big year for your tech decision. You want to spend time when you have Mr. Kinghorn in consciously making a decision. If there's a program you think you're interested in, this is your chance to explore it. And though it's not going to necessarily be as it has been done in the past, last year he made some great accommodations to have conversations with teachers, with students who are interested in that program. This is a big decision. All of our students in tech programs are in college. They are in high school and in college at the same time once they join. And the expectation is that you're meeting the same standard an adult would have to meet for the program. So you want to choose something that you want to do for 3 hours a day for 2 years. So choose wisely, choose once. And if you need anything, any of these ladies can help you. I can help you to make a decision on what you're going to choose. And I want to add something about grades for 9th graders in particular to be aware. Unlike in middle school, in October, when those report cards come out, 2 credits will be earned already because we're in high school on a block schedule. I know that I'm a little off topic, but so timeliness is very important for 9th grade and all grades. So
thank you.
All I have.
I want to reiterate what you said about 10th grade. A lot of people don't realize that when you become a junior, You are not just enrolled in McFatter Technical High School anymore. You have now also dually enrolled at McFatter Technical College. That is what your technical program is. It looks like a high school class because it's part of your regular schedule, but it's not. It's college classes. And assuming you complete your program successfully, when you walk the stage at graduation, you get 2 diplomas, one from the technical high school and one from the technical college. And so everything Ms. DeCastro said about using that 10th grade time to learn about those programs so that you choose wisely, it's so key because it's at the heart of what makes us unique as a technical high school. So thank you for that. I wanted to mention to all of our students, we asked the teachers, now that we're in session for a couple of weeks, what are you seeing and what is the single biggest message you want to give us, you want us to give to all of our students and their parents? And universally, what we heard was we need to be sure that students aren't just logging in, but are also staying fully present and engaged in the class for the whole time. We know it's hard. We know that when you're at home instead of in a classroom, there might be a few more distractions than usual, but we really want you to focus and remain engaged. That's how you're going to get the most out of your work with your teacher. So please make sure that you make that a priority as much as possible. Ms. Olubemi talked about trying to be free, have a space that's free from distractions. And it's true for all of our students because it allows you to focus on the coursework and getting the support from your teacher and the engagement with your classmates. In terms of how parents can support their sons and daughters, obviously, everything you're doing at home to help your students be successful is appreciated. Being in contact with your son or daughter's teachers and these fine women, the counselors, is so important. There's also a way to participate in the life of the school, and part of that is through our school advisory council. And I know, Mr. Harris, you wanted to give an update about that.
All right, thank you, Ms. Johnson. And yes, yesterday we had our elections, but there still are some positions that are still available. So I'm asking you, please, please, please. I'm going to go over those positions in a second. But one thing about our SAC, our School Advisory Council, is that I want to emphasize how important your voice is because of individuals and parents on our council. That's the reason why McFatter has been an A school for the past 18 years. And we need you. We need your voice because we listen to you, you matter, and that's why you being involved is so critically important, what Ms. Johnson just mentioned. So that being said, I'm still looking for a 10th grade parent representative, 11th grade parent representative, an ESOL parent representative, an ESC student, a gifted parent representative, an SAF, which stands for School Advisory Forum parent representative, an iZone parent representative, and we're part of the NOVA zone, and also a PTSA parent representative. So there's still some very important positions that are available, and I would love for you to be involved. And if you please email me at Darryl, darryl.harris@browardschools.com, and if you email me soon today, you'd be the only person running for that position, and I automatically get you on the committee. So please sign up today, email me today so we can get you involved because our first SAC meeting will take place next Thursday, September the 10th. So that's coming up soon. We want to have you on board. We need you on board. So please, please reach out to me today if you can via email, and I'll make sure I respond back and get you involved, get you listed and involved as part of our school advisory council. Thank you so much.
And I know for now, those meetings are virtual.
Yes.
They're not held face-to-face. And if parents are concerned about the time commitment, how often does SAC meet and what is their level of commitment if they serve in one of these roles?
That's a good question. So SAC meets 6 times a year. And being that they're virtual, so hopefully that'll provide some flexibility for those for parents that are being involved. So, and once the meetings actually take place and when we eventually get back face-to-face, the meeting still will last probably an hour and a half, 2 hours at the max. And we promise to make up with a great lunch for those that are involved because that's one of the highlights of the meeting that we provide. So we'll have a virtual lunch at this time, but it won't take up too much of your time. But the key thing is your voice is important. So we would love for you to be involved.
Definitely. Once we're face-to-face, there are definite advantages to being on the SAC at a school that has a professional culinary arts training program. It is the best SAC lunch anywhere. I can guarantee you that. And I mean SAC, School Advisory Council, not SAC as in bag lunch. It is truly gourmet all the way, and you will love it. I wanted to mention, sort of as a final point, make sure everyone remembers that Monday is Labor Day, which means no school. There's no classes. Students, we want you to take the day off, get away from the computer, get some physical activity, really have a nice long 3-day weekend. We hope all of the students, the families, our teachers, they all enjoy the break. Did I miss anything? I think we got everything covered, but I'm not sure if I missed anything that we wanted to talk about this week.
I think we covered a lot.
Yeah.
Next week, we'll be introducing a few more individuals who work within our Student Services Department in support functions to our students. Ms. Bluth, Ms. Fussell, Ms. Olabemi, thank you so much for joining us this week. Mr. Harris, Mr. Castro, as always, thank you. And with that, I think we will sign off. I cannot believe my office lights did not turn off once on the pattern. So that's a good thing. Everyone have a lovely afternoon, a great three-day weekend, and we'll see you next week. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.